Hello friends, my name is Friday, and I'm very excited for this video. For those of you itching to skip ahead, yes, I see you. Just hang tight for a moment while I cover some important things, okay? Don't worry, I'll let you know when you can skip ahead. Now, let's begin. First, a quick content warning. I know I inserted one at the beginning, but I feel like I need to reiterate it. This video discusses and depicts themes related to SA, physical abuse, emotional abuse, and exploitation. Larian Studios did not shy away from these topics when creating Astarion's story. I will provide a warning before any of these scenes play out, but viewer discretion is advised. Lastly, I've added timestamps for specific scenes in the description below. Use them to jump to the parts of the video that interest you the most. With that out of the way, you're welcome to skip the rest of the intro. Go ahead, I won't judge. Much. For those of you sticking around,
you're awesome.
Now, let me introduce you to the stars of this video. First, we have 𝐬𝐊, a gnome whose name comes from an Old Norse word meaning to wail or lament. Fitting choice for her role. Now, Astarion's disdain for gnomes inspired her creation, and there are a couple of theories why he feels this way about gnomes. One suggests his sibling 𝐬𝐭𝐴, I think his name is, mistreated him terribly to impress 𝐭𝐳𝐲. Another theory points to Astarion's high elf heritage, as high elves in D&D are notoriously prejudiced. Prejudiced. Fuck's sake.
Prejudiced.
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 Prejudiced. Fucking
Prejudiced.
that word. I swear I can speak English. Anyway, a good example of his
prejudiced
was when Astarion speaks to 𝐽𝐿. He makes a blatantly racist comment and doesn't even disapprove when called out, which means he's pretty aware of his
prejudiced.
You're a monster hunter. I'm surprised. I thought all 𝐬𝐿 were vagrant cutthroats.
Your friend has just heard the rumors of my people, that we steal chickens, curse your crops, seduce your daughters.
Anyway, back to 𝐬𝐊. Personally, I love her design. I think she's adorable. That said, I have never in my entire life hated one of my own characters as much as I do her. And by the end of this video, I think you'll understand why I hate her so much. Next, we have Cassian, a half-elf. Quick disclaimer about his name and likeness. Cassian was inspired by Prince Caspian from Narnia. I didn't realize until later that there is a character in a court of cats and dogs with the same name and similar likeness. Any resemblance is purely coincidental. I wasn't trying to recreate a character from a court of ketchup and mustard, aka a court of thorns and roses. I think that's what it's called. Now, Cassian's purpose is to serve as a buffer between the more intense scenes, a detox, if you will. His role is to bring some much needed levity and deliver feel-good moments after the heartache. Personally, I found his run to be extremely therapeutic, especially when I needed a mental break from the heaviness of 𝐬𝐿's story. Cassian has been a lifesaver, so I hope he offers you the same feel-goods as he did for me. Anyway, let us begin. When you first meet Astarion, there are two ways you can be, well, a flaming douche. First, you can charge into battle and fight him head on, ultimately killing him.
You there!
Pick to fight. The consequences are hardly surprising.
First you kill me, then you bring me back. You make quite the first impression. How about we try words instead of blades, It's safer for everyone.
Alternatively, you can take the stealthy backstab route and sneak up behind him to kill him.
Please? Please come and help me. I died. They killed me. At least someone had the good grace to bring me back. I suppose that merits an introduction. My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when they snatched me and put that thing in my head.
Both options are equally as brutal and, as far as I know, don't have an overall impact on the story or your relationship with Astarion, which is kind of funny if you think about it. Like, you just killed the guy and he's like, meh, let bygones be bygones, it's no biggie. But technically, it is the first terrible thing you can do to him. Kill him the moment you meet him. What a romantic start to your blossoming relationship. Now we reach a moment where things take a bit of a darker turn. The bite scene. What is the bite scene, you might ask? Well, let me show you.
You don't sleep well, flitting between dreams and nightmares. Maybe you wake up because you know something is wrong. Or maybe you just get lucky.
Shit. No, it's not what it looks like. I swear. I wasn't going to hurt you. I just needed, well, blood.
There, in the dim firelight, you see him for what he really is. A vampire, a slave to sanguine hunger.
There are a few ways you can approach this moment. First, you could, well, pick up the stake and lunge at the monster. Yeah, I felt kind of bad about doing this to my boy. It's extremely gut-wrenching how he looks at you as he's dying. Like, that's not a guy having a good time. Obviously, he's dying, but you get what I mean. Moving on. The next option is to use the tadpole to read his mind. Like every other skill check in the game, you can either succeed or you can fail. Here's what happens when you fail.
I've never killed anyone. Well, not for food. I feed on animals, boars, deer, kobolds, whatever I can get. But it's not enough. Not if I have to fight. I feel so weak. If I just had a little blood, I could think clearer, fight better. Please.
A strange sensation courses through you, and your companion's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed. You feel yourself repulsed as the doors of his mind slam shut.
This is not the time to start invading each other's minds.
And here's what happens when you succeed.
What's this? What's happening?
His mind opens up, revealing cracked and quivering memories. At their heart, you see dark eyes commanding you to feed. You open your mouth and bite down, not into a tender neck, but into the twisting body of a rat, the only thing your master lets you eat.
Yes, I ate whatever disgusting vermin my master picked, so you can see why I'm slow to trust you. But I do trust you. And you can trust me. Because we don't have a choice. Not if we're going to save ourselves from these worms. I need you alive. You need me strong. Please, only be a taste, I swear. I'll be well, you'll be fine. And everything can go back to normal.
Interestingly, Astarion doesn't disapprove of this, given his usual guarded nature. Then again, considering Astarion just got caught trying to drink someone's blood, I can see why he didn't disapprove. He has more pressing matters to deal with. Now, I was really curious what would happen if you were to fail the scale check when trying to stab him with a stake. So, shall we see what that looks like?
Of course. I shall be gentle as a babe. Let's make ourselves comfortable, shall we?
shard of ice into your neck, a quick, sharp pain that fades to throbbing numbness. Your breath catches, your pulse quickens.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's what happens if you fail to stake an attempt. He's not very happy about the outcome. Understandable. Another choice you can make is outright kicking him from camp.
You toss me aside over this? Fine. See how far you get without me.
Let me show you how Shadowheart and 𝐚𝐳𝐲 react to the news of Astarion attempting to consume your blood. They were predictably less than pleased. Oh, by the way, some of the reactions are after I had killed him, while others were after he had left the camp. Hopefully that makes sense, but here's the reactions.
A vampire in our midst, on top of everything. I should have seen it coming.
He tried to drain one of us like a stuck pig. We should never have allowed him into the camp.
He wasn't the worst company, bloodlust aside. Part of me will miss him.
He endangered the entire camp. Perhaps whoever invited him here should be more careful next time.
We certainly won't. I might start preemptively staking visitors through the heart.
If you say so. You are just fortunate he did not go for my neck. I would not be so agreeable if he had.
It doesn't matter. Astarion's dead. For good, this time. We're safe as we can be.
Do you have any brain left, or has the worm claimed it all?
It doesn't matter. Astarion's gone. Now just hope he doesn't come creeping back next time he's hungry.
Now we arrive at the last choice you can make. Telling him there's no way in hell you're allowed him to drink your blood. I mean, 𝐕𝖊𝖊 doesn't exactly say it like that, but close enough.
No, of course. Silly of me to even ask. I'll go and find something on 4 legs to eat, I suppose. See you in the morning.
You watch him stalk away, slumped, sulking, and ready to kill. The following morning, there is additional dialogue. I mean, obviously, they technically didn't address the whole vampire situation. To explain how this part works, I'm going to go through every dialogue option to show you the different ways how he responds. If you see me skipping any, it's because he's repeating himself, and I feel like it's unnecessary to show you repeating dialogue. Other than that, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the bite scene.
Morning. I hope last night's little unpleasantness hasn't left a bad taste in your... Well, I hope there are no bad feelings. And you're lucky I'm not a true vampire. Last night could have gone very differently if I'd magically summoned a pack of wolves. Alas, I'm just a spawn. All of the hunger, few of the powers. Oh, I have no idea. By rights, I should be cinders in this light, but someone or something is keeping me alive. Indeed, it could. These are very helpful in a fight. Of course, I can't summon wolves or turn to mist like a true vampire. Being a spawn has its drawbacks. Perhaps I am. For 200 years, the sun would have turned me to cinders. Now I stand here like it's nothing. Someone, or something, wants me alive. They've changed the rules. Standing in the sun, wading through a river, wandering into homes without an invitation. They're all perfectly mundane activities now. As for my other quirks, well, we can figure those out in time. Oh, I've no idea. For 200 years, the sun would have turned me to cinders. Until the crash when I woke up bathed in its light. That's my theory, but who knows? You're such a sweetheart. No more surprises. You have my word. I'm just glad you're being sensible about these revelations. I was worried people might turn up with torches and pitchforks. Although there's still time.
A vampire among us? So be it. But should I wake with so much as a drop of blood on my neck, I will end him.
I'd just better not wake in the night to find fangs at my throat.
She's not wrong. We're bound together, no matter what comes.
Fine. He stays till he's no longer of use. Besides, my flesh is not so easily tasted. Unless, of course, I have offered it.
I wouldn't recommend it. I won't get you, but the mind flayers might. Quite the opposite. I'm here in the spirit of openness and honesty, to work together as a team.
Maybe we could get him to wear a bell. Dissuade any nighttime prowling.
There now. We're all friends again. Shall we go? There's a long day ahead of us.
I hope that gave you a clear picture of how this scene can play out. Now this next clip is where my boy Cassian comes in. Being terrible to Astarion sucks a whole lot of nutsacks, especially because he's my favorite character. Like I said in the intro, Cassian is here to save the day, so enjoy.
You don't sleep well, flitting between dreams and nightmares. Maybe you wake up because you know something is wrong, or maybe you just get lucky.
Shit. No, it's not what it looks like. I swear. I wasn't going to hurt you. I just needed, well, blood.
There, in the dim firelight, you see him for what he really is. A vampire, a slave to sanguine hunger.
It's not what you think. I'm not some monster. I feed on animals. Boars, deer, kobolds, whatever I can get. I'm just too slow right now. Too weak. If I just had a little blood, I could think clearer, fight better. Please.
A strange sensation courses through you, and your companion's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed.
At best, I was sure you'd say no. More likely, you'd ram a stake through my ribs. No. I needed you to trust me. And you can trust me. Thank you. Do you think you could trust me just a little further? I only need a taste. I swear. Really? Of course. Not one drop more. Let's make ourselves comfortable, shall we?
It's like a shard of ice into your neck, a quick, sharp pain that fades to throbbing numbness. Your breath catches, your pulse quickens. You lean into him, losing yourself. You can feel your blood racing, coursing through both your bodies. A gentle, numb feeling starts to spread. You feel a little cold, but that's all. There's no more pain, no more fear, no more struggle. It's all over.
Oh no. Something terrible's happened. You're here? Thank goodness. I was worried about you. You looked a little ill last night, but you've certainly recovered. killed feels like a strong word. Not many corpses have your vigor. Now, I admit I got carried away last night. I apologize. But look at you now, perfectly healthy. So let's not fall out over this. We still need each other, after all. That's the spirit. A team once again. And of course, what happened last night shall never be repeated.
The next terrible thing on the list is to give Astarion to the 𝐻𝐸. Also, just a side note, you'll probably notice that Vela's face tattoo is different. That's because I filmed this part much later, and I had a mod that changed face tattoos. Regardless, let us see what happens when you give Astarion to 𝐭𝐴ndril.
Ah, stranger. Forgive the aroma.
You catch a waft of something foul, metallic, and sickly sweet.
Powdered iron vine. An old hunter's trick. Most monsters will think twice before making a meal of me.
You're a monster hunter. I'm surprised. I thought all 𝐻𝐸 were vagrant cutthroats.
And more. We steal chickens, curse your crops, seduce your daughters, the list goes on. I wish I had half the power settled folk think my people possess. Alas, I am a simple wanderer. A simple wanderer and monster hunter. But I'm no witch doctor or cutthroat.
Something terrifying, no doubt. Dragon? Cyclops? Kobold?
Nothing so dramatic. I'm hunting for a vampire spawn. His name is Astarion, but I fear he's gone to ground. I hope the hag of these lands can help me flush him out, if I can afford her blood price. What?
What?
It isn't possible.
You idiot! What have you done? You treacherous little worm.
A just choice. I thank you for your help. My people work to rid this world of evil. You are a friend to our cause. It's yours. This is the only prize I need. I have a cage ready nearby. It will hold him when he wakes. I would have made a deal with the hag to find this. I'm very glad that I did not. Thank you, and safe travels.
Listen, I know this is a terrible moment for Astarion, but the way he goes down is unnecessarily funny to me. 𝐭𝐴ndril just gives him a harsh uppercut to the jaw, and he just collapses like a sack of potatoes. Which feels absurdly comical given the gravity of the situation. Unfortunately, that is where the funny ends, because in the next scene, we find out the 𝐻𝐸 were slaughtered. I actually had to kill 𝐭𝐴ndril because he was just randomly attacking. Once 𝐭𝐴ndril was defeated, I used Speak to Dead on Alma, the leader of the tribe, and this is what she's had to say about what happened.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Vampire. 𝐭𝐴zador. Couldn't stop him. Reclaimed his property. Astarion. Dark magic. Terrible ritual. Lower city. Mansion. Near park.
Yeah, 𝐭𝐴zador launched an attack on the 𝐻𝐸, slaughtering everyone too.
Reclaimed his property. Astarion.
That single sentence, I'll be completely honest, pissed me off, so naturally.
Help is on the way, dear! This is Doubtfire! Help is on the way!
But what we ended up finding was absolutely heartbreaking. It turns out 𝐭𝐴zador turned Astarion into a zombie, presumably to counteract the tadpole's influence. If you remember, a tadpole only leaves a body when their host is dead. So, what better way to accomplish that than to turn said host into a zombie? Actually, I'm gonna make 𝐭𝐴zador pay for what he did to my boy. I mean, it was technically my fault for putting him in this situation to begin with, and even 𝐭𝐴zador acknowledges that.
I believed all
our guests had been dealt with upstairs. Werewolves leave so much to be desired. Wait! No! It cannot be. Were you the one who took my poor Astarion under your wing, only to abandon him so cruelly? Oh, please, I care not for your petty drama. In truth, you made all of this possible. Now that he is mine once more, I have everything I need. This ritual, this black mass that has been centuries in the making, is finally ready. Witness the birth of the vampire ascendant. mckaye Dominus!
However, that does not mean I'm not going to absolutely smear the ground with 𝐭𝐻𝐸dor's carcass. Enjoy as I deliver some well-deserved justice to 𝐭𝐻𝐸, bitch.
Well played, but I still have power enough to rend the flesh from your bones. Fight on if you must, but I am only growing stronger.
You serious?
The great vampire lord looks peaceful, recovering in his coffin. There is no trace of the fury that you fought against.
Consummatum est.
The vampire lord is no more, but his legacy remains. What to do with the thousands of vampire spawn he created?
Liberating them may salve your conscience, but it is not a kindness. The city's poorer quarters will be their feast hall.
Nothing remains now. 𝐭𝐻𝐸dor and his machinations are naught but dust.
I cannot believe it's over. I cannot believe we're free. We are free, aren't we? We will not bother you at the surface. You have my word on that. We will find a place in the Underdark. We will find a new way to live, new creatures to feed on, and you will never have to see us again. My thanks for everything.
Finally, 𝐭𝐻𝐸dor was defeated, and Astarion's soul could rest knowing he was no longer in pain. Now, I spent an absurd amount of time trying to find a place to either bury Astarion or at least place him in a tomb of some sort, but the game wouldn't let me. So I found this tomb of dogs, unfortunately having to kill said dogs. then placed Astarion's body on this nice rug, which I feel terrible for, but that's all I could manage to do. I surrounded him with flowers to honor his memory, bow because he's always been exceptional with one, and 2 lightsabers from a mod I use. They become his signature weapons in all of my runs. Rest in peace, Astarion. You deserved so much better than what you got in this run. Alright, let's take a break from the harrowing journey that was the last video and dive into something much lighter, like dropping a building on someone, which is apparently frowned upon. Who knew? I won't be doing a lot of talking this scene because it pretty much speaks for itself. Just like before, I'll go through every dialogue to show you his different reactions, which are hilarious. You really see Sass Astarion coming out to play here. His sass is on full display. Anyway, enough yammering for me. Enjoy.
Sweet hells were you thinking? Activating that lance? I was right there! Gods! Do you have any idea how much that hurt? Next time. No. If there is a next time, I'll be the one aiming the all-powerful weapon. Thank you. Although, I do appreciate you trying to fix your mistake. Just don't do it again. Excuse me? That was the least you could do after dropping a building on me. Well, apparently there's a limit. Somewhere between a nice summer's day and the full concentrated power of the sun! And I think I was safer with the mind flayers. Next time, just warn me before you do something stupid. At least then I can get out of the blast radius. Now, shall we go? Or do you have any other chaos you need to unleash here?
I hope you enjoyed the comedic relief from the last scene. However, it's time to shift gears and delve back into the heart of this video. The worst things you can do to Astarion. Content warning, this scene contains themes of coercion, emotional distress, and graphic content, vomiting. Viewer discretion is advised. Allow me to introduce you to 𝐚𝐽𝐽𝐻.
𝐚𝐽𝐽𝐻, trader in blood and the sanguineous arts. It is a pleasure to stand before a true soul and your pale companion. I'd like to offer my services, if you're willing. Please. You think someone in my line of work wouldn't recognize a vampire spawn when they see one? I trade in blood and the potions that can be wrung from it. I'm more than happy to make you one, if you'd honor me with your blood. With 1 drop, I can brew a rather potent potion for you. The rest, I keep for myself. Just a little prick and it's all over. Close your eyes. There we are. All of your very best traits in a bottle. Use it well.
Many of you will recognize her, and I'm sure most of you despise this woman as much as I do. Now, I want you to watch closely as Astarion's demeanor changes in this scene.
Although perhaps there's one more thing we could discuss. Your vampiric friend.
Oh, don't worry. We're all friends under the absolute. I won't bite.
Oh, I'd prefer if you did. I assume he belongs to you? Well, I hope you don't mind sharing him for just a minute. Do you have a name, Spawn?
Astarion, but hold on.
Good. Now, Astarion. I've dreamt of being bitten by a vampire since I was a young girl.
I'm sorry, you want to be bitten?
To feel your life's blood slipping away. To dance on the edge between life and death. Yes, I want it. I'll even compensate you. A potion of legendary power that forever increases the strength of the one who consumes it. It's not for sale, but it's yours if you bite me.
I will have to decline.
Excuse me? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you're squandering it.
I gave you my answer.
Can't you talk some sense into your obstinate charge?
I'm sorry, but could you excuse us a moment? Are you actually asking me to do this? Trading me for some potion? Because there's something wrong with her blood. I can smell it from here. It's rank. I can't say. It just smells wrong. Unnatural. Drinking it wouldn't kill me, but it would not be pleasant.
I don't have all day, true soul.
Fine. I'll do it. Darling, I've had a sudden change of heart. After all, who could resist such a delectable neck? Hold very, very still.
Incredible. Incredible.
Oh, hells.
Not your taste?
You're fetid, full of corruption.
I feel exquisite, though. So here's my part of the bargain. I hope you find it as satisfying as I found this. It was everything I imagined, and then more. I'll be able to put this to good use.
After Vela forces Astarion to drink from 𝐻𝐻𝑚, she's given the potion of everlasting vigor, which raises your strength by 2. Here's what the description says. A reward received from biting 𝐼𝐻𝑚. Vampirism has sometimes been called the dark gift, or the dark kiss, perhaps as an allusion to their forbidden relationship to sunshine. Does provide gifts in abundance, such is the case with this potion. It may seem like a good potion to have, and maybe it is. You might even think Astarion would recover from this. After all, he's endured worse under 𝐚𝐧𝐲's control, but his response tells a different story, especially if you're romancing him. Let's explore 2 of the dialogue options to get a glimpse of how he truly feels.
I can still taste that vile drow in my throat. Really? After something like that, you think that's what I'm looking for? I was just defiled by that creature, and you let it happen. You made it happen. I thought I could bear sleeping with you, to try and get you on my side. Now I couldn't stand to do it again. For you, maybe. It's a game I'm tired of playing. Being used. I thought I could bear sleeping with you, to try and get you on my side. Now I couldn't stand to do it again.
Alright, now it's time to explore the rest of the dialogue. I'll cover as much as possible, skipping only the repetitive parts. I hope that makes sense. But with that, here's the rest of the scene.
I don't know what I am. I spent 200 years using my body to lure pretty things back from my master. What I wanted, how I felt about what I was doing, it never mattered. Throwing your body at someone becomes second nature. And I just did it again. Yes, it was. I forced myself to bite her. I'm so used to my body being used as a tool to get what someone else wants. But I'm free now. It shouldn't be like that. So you say. I've seduced people who repulsed me more times than I can count. It should have been just another moment of disgust for greater reward. And you pushed me. It's all right. I didn't expect myself to feel anything. I forced myself to bite her. I'm so used to my body being used as a tool to get what someone else wants. But I'm free now. It shouldn't be like that. I didn't think twice when the moment came, but now I can't get it off my mind. I've seduced people who repulsed me more times than I can count. It should have been just another moment of disgust for greater reward. And you pushed me. We shouldn't be involved with each other anymore. I'll sleep alone.
That was rough. Watching Astarion endure that was heartbreaking. To cleanse the palate and to show you how the scene should have gone, here is a clip of Cassian handling the situation with the care Astarion deserves.
Although perhaps there's one more thing we could discuss. Your vampiric friend.
Oh, don't worry. We're all friends under the absolute. I won't bite.
Oh, I'd prefer if you did. I assume he belongs to you? I'm sure he really believes that. How utterly adorable. Do you have a name, Spawn?
Astarion, but hold on.
Good. Now, Astarion. I've dreamt of being bitten by a vampire since I was a young girl.
I'm sorry, you want to be bitten?
To feel your life's blood slipping away. To dance on the edge between life and death. Yes, I want it. I'll even compensate you. A potion of legendary power that forever increases the strength of the one who consumes it. It's not for sale, but it's yours if you bite me.
I will have to decline.
Excuse me? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and you're squandering it.
I gave you my answer.
Can't you talk some sense into your obstinate charge?
I'm sorry, but could you excuse us a moment? Are you actually asking me to do this? Trading me for some potion? Because there's something wrong with her blood. I can smell it from here. It's rank. I can't say. It just smells wrong. Unnatural. Drinking it wouldn't kill me, but it would not be pleasant.
I don't have all day, true soul.
All right. Thank you. It's still a no, I'm afraid.
How very disappointing.
Thank you. I appreciated that. I want to thank you for what you said whilst I was in front of that vile drow. I spent 200 years using my body to lure pretty things back from my master. What I wanted, how I felt about what I was doing, it never mattered. You could have asked me to do the same. To throw myself at her. What I wanted, be damned. But you didn't. And I'm grateful. It's a novel concept, I admit. And, a little intimidating. It would have been so easy to bite her. To just go along with what I was being told to do. A moment of disgust to force myself through, and then I could have carried on just like before. It's easy to judge a situation when you're not in it. The entire reason for my existence was to seduce anything with a pulse. And every instinct I have tells me that nothing's changed. I'm still just a means to an end. You made me see that I never stopped thinking like I was his slave. Even in freedom. But I'm more than that. More than a thing to be used. I would like that. I've held more people than I can count. An infinite parade of lovers. But a friend? I can't think of a single one. Until you.
There. Don't you feel better? I certainly do. If you noticed, I chose to make Cassian and Astarion friends rather than lovers. The scene after the drow encounter, assuming you chose the good route, feels like the perfect foundation for a meaningful friendship. I'll explain this choice more later in the video. For now, I hope you enjoyed this glimpse into how things could have gone. Let's see what's next. Next on the list is something a little less evil. If you recall, when you arrive at Shar's temple, Raphael will be waiting for you. He'll tell you about something inside, the magic 𝐭𝐽, and he'll either tell Astarion that if you kill what's inside, he'll reveal the secrets behind his scars, or if you didn't speak to him at the Last Light Inn, Astarion will strike a deal with him. Either way, Astarion finding out why 𝐭𝐻𝐴dar carved these things into his back depends on us killing the orthon. Here's who the orthon is for a bit of a refresher.
What's this? Fresh entertainment? But you're too fresh for this place, aren't you? There's a whiff of the surface to you. A new arrival, then. You burrow too deep, little rabbit. I don't talk to prey. There's something else, almost hidden by your fear stink. Cherries. Musk. And sulfur. Raphael! I can smell him all over you. Where is he? That perfume trickster swindled me. Trapped me. Where is he? Spit it out. Now!
What are you doing? The devil told us to kill this thing, so let's stop chatting and kill it.
Bargaining, are you? A 𝐭𝐻𝐴dar warlord once tried the same. I made him watch as I ate his concubines in young, then fashioned a codpiece from his skull. You can't help. It's not just walls that keep me here. Not the traps, the dark, or the creatures it hides. Something stronger holds me. A contract. Either I fulfill the contract, die trying, or forfeit my freedom. If I leave this place now, I'll become Raphael's slave. Spill all the blood sworn to the night. Silence all prayers. Smother each rite. Wander Shah's halls, hungry to slay. Leave no justice here, alive to obey. Leave none to hear it, then be set free. This song is your oath. Swear it to me.
Well, that explains where all the dark justiciars went. The final lyrics linger in your mind. There is a trick buried within them, a clause that cannot easily be fulfilled.
That's it.
So he's the one who slaughtered the justiciars. Can we kill him now? Because if he doesn't die, then Raphael won't tell me a damn thing about my scars.
Asking why doesn't get me paid. Hunting and killing does. Raphael mentioned something about an Aasimar. Meant nothing to me. I did my part. I filled these halls with ghosts. But Raphael's playing some other game. One that involves stiffing me. Anyway, enough prattle. The lyrics are clear. All who hear the song must die. Time to die. I spent a century roaming these halls. I spilled every drop of dark Justiciar blood that there was to spill. And you think you can do better? Go on then. I'll enjoy watching you fail. But try to run, and you will regret it. I may be trapped here, but I'm not without friends. If you break your word, they'll hunt you down and make your final moments a symphony of agony.
With the Orthon's identity revealed, the challenge is clear. We can offer to help him complete his contract, though Astarion is quick to push back against the idea.
I hope you're not serious about helping that Hell's Beast. We made a deal with Raphael. His destruction for the secrets written on my back. This is important. Do not play games with me. 𝐭𝐻𝐸 did something to me. I need to know what it was. And the only way I'll know for sure is if that orthon dies. I see. So that's where we stand. Very well then. We'll roll the dice and let's see what fate decides.
I won't show you the fight, but it's no walk in the park. Battling a swarm of rats is weirdly difficult, especially at higher levels. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, and if you're interested, I can make a separate video about this part. There's actually a kick-ass sword you can get. Anyway, once you defeat the, let's see if I can pronounce this correctly, last Justiciar, here's what happens.
Wait. Quiet. It's gone. The song is gone. The contract is completed. That conniving sack of worms. I should have known. I should have ripped his tongue out before he even spoke of this contract.
Here I am, your gear, tongue and oar, precisely on time for a lesson in semantics. Devil's in the details, you see, and the details are in the fine print. You were to fulfill the deal. Nowhere does it stipulate you could subcontract the last kill to the first adventurer's party that came trotting along. In short, you're in breach of contract, my friend. Oh dear.
Back to the hells with what we agreed. I have you now, Raphael. Pay the debt, and I will make this quick.
Consider your position. You are about to forfeit what reputation you have left. No contracts, no fame, no power. You'll be a streak of excrement even lemurs will slither away from. Unless, of course, you consider instead my infinite mercy. A new contract, a chance to balance the books, not to mention a welcome change of scenery.
Bastard! Fine. On one condition. No more songs.
What's a contract without whimsy, I say? But fine. No more songs. Now, off to the House of Hope for cocktails and canapes, and a brand new signature on a brand new deal. But first, it would be only befitting if you reward your subcontractor. The greater reward for the greater hunter.
Anything I leave behind is yours. Pick over it however you like.
Poor bastard. I really wouldn't want to be his lackey. I mean, that guy's got issues on top of issues. Anyway, as one would expect, Astarion is pissed. And just like all the other times I've done this, I'll show you all the dialogue and skip over the repetitive parts. I'll also show you what happens when you fail the skill check. You'll see what I mean when the scene plays.
How dare you talk to me after what you've done? Now the Orthon's free to traipse back to the Hells, and I'm left with nothing. No information about my scars, no leads on where to turn now, and no idea why I'm wasting my time with you. You thought it was right to take this from me? By chance to know what 𝐭𝐻𝐸 did to me? What his plan for me? You had a chance to do the right thing. And you chose a devil over me. Of course, you should have listened to me. But you didn't. And now I have to deal with the consequences. Much as it pains me, you do have a point. Our odds are still better together. Just know that my patience has its limits, and you're dangerously close to them. You may be right. That doesn't make it sting any less, though. Just know that my patience has its limits, and you're dangerously close to them. It's best for you, maybe. Not for me. You've shown your true colors. I'm done with you. Done with everyone! I'll fix this myself. You can rot, for all I care. I wish it were that simple, but our odds of surviving this are still better together. So, unhappy as it is, our fates still seem to be intertwined. Just know that my patience has its limits, and you're dangerously close to them.
Yeah, Astarion has the possibility to leave your party if you fail the skill check. Of course, I mean, he stays in every other situation. He's just really angry at you. Some of you might wonder why this was in the video. I mean, it's mean, but not horrendous. Well, let me tell you, 𝐭𝐻𝐻𝑡r carved those runes into Astarion's back in a single night, inflicting a pain that's almost unimaginable. I'm about to show you a snippet from a later scene in the video, and I need to emphasize just how disturbing it is. This isn't about gore, though there is some of that, but the sheer agony being conveyed. The voice actors bring an intensity that's haunting, even for someone as desensitized as I am. If you'd rather avoid it, I'll include a timestamp so you can skip ahead. But here's that scene.
What are you doing? Don't! Ah! Oh, no! No! No!
There. Perfect.
I know the pain was being inflicted on 𝐭𝐻𝐻𝑡r, but I just imagine that being Astarion. I just imagine him being on the receiving end of that and it taking all night. Astarion's pain in this moment isn't just about betrayal, it's about the centuries of agony he endured being trivialized. Trust doesn't come easy for him. To have it shattered feels like another layer of cruelty. And if you're romancing him, the blow cuts even deeper. You've become his anchor, his first connection in centuries. And to have that severed, it's gut-wrenching. Enough rambling. Let's move on to the next scene. Next on the list is the infamous Dark Urge scene. Quick heads up, I'll be using Cassian for this since Layla embraced Urge in the other playthrough. Don't worry, Cassian redeems himself by the end. Hopefully. For now, here's the beginning of the scene. As per usual, I'll explore all the dialogue options here to let you fully embrace the unsettling charm of the creepy butler. Well, skipping the repetitive parts.
Your stomach churns around and around. The bile within is unsettled. Each moment brings a new surge. Your companions sleep like blissful lumps of meat.
He is so afraid, so afraid of everyone. Besides you, who he ought to fear most. You could do so much better, my lord. I won't lay so much as a talon on him. I wouldn't rob you of that delight. I am here to watch your moment of triumph, my loathly master. I am but an eager messenger from the depths of your dirty thoughts. Harming me will not aid him in the slightest. Nothing will at this point. Your clever mind is penning tragedy as we speak. Your repressed urge yearns to kill. And kill you will. Tonight, the moment you close your eyes, your favorite person will be brutalized. So, all those sweet words were said in the hope of lying with him. A fine performance, oh, my itching liege. Then it should be a trifling matter to kill this one. It is precisely because you didn't touch her that you are insatiable. Your dark urge will have death, one way or another. Tonight, you know there is murder slumbering within you. And in controlling it, it has grown insatiable. Your dark urge will have death tonight, one way or another. It is too late. You ignored your urge, and now it is insatiable. Each man kills the thing he loves. You like him for more than his looks, but he will never believe that. Why not make him a pretty corpse? Why not whisper it while you twist a knife? Or have a love confession be the final words between you? You are wrong to consider another your equal. It is my duty to ensure you are making the right decisions, Master. There was much disappointment at your reluctance to kill the little moon maiden. You could kill this one deliberately. I'm sure it will be considered a great show of goodwill. The tithe could still be yours. I do not doubt you will act with a decorum befitting one of your rank. Good night, sweet lord.
Now, before we proceed, I want to give you a heads up about what happens if you give in to your urge. Content warning, the following scene contains graphic violence and depicts a character being brutally attacked. While it's centered to the story and character development, it may be distressing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Your companion rests blissfully, without a fear in the world. As soon as you raise the dagger, all doubts disappear from your mind, replaced by pure pleasure. This is far more thrilling than your nights together ever could be. In the heat of the night, those last gasps are those of disappointment. With almost no struggle, he's gone out like a light. There is a beautiful blush on his cheeks that was never there while he was alive. You drink in the sight until the dawn. The corpse feels carefree, peaceful, and loving to linger beside. You drink in the sight until the dawn. Thoughts flittering, you prepare to be hated. You grant one last caress to your dead companion.
That is such a rough scene to watch. I know I mentioned earlier that I'm pretty desensitized to stuff like this, but Astarion is my boy. Watching him get brutally stabbed is heartbreaking, especially knowing how much Astarion trusted your character. After the attack, you're left to face your companions the next morning. Unsurprisingly, they're furious, and tensions are running high.
Regrettably, the corpse before you is not your only company on this dark night. Footsteps approach, not your butler, come to celebrate this splendid deed, but the others, woken by your happy laughter, or the sound of knife on bone.
You've spilled blood in our camp before. This will be the last time.
God, are you serious? That's fucking terrifying. It's getting harder and harder to tell who we can trust.
Sad. So much death. So much loss.
A reprobate liar. But what's one more darling sin on the pile? You are holding on to your allies by but a hair.
There's no hope for a rabid dog like you. You've got to be put down. Thanks for everything. Now don't struggle. It'll be easier on you. You're mad. I tried to get you help, but there's nowhere to take you and no time to figure out what the fuck to do. I guess this is goodbye. Don't struggle. It'll only hurt more.
I hope you, well, I wouldn't say enjoyed, but I hope you somewhat found that montage humorous. For the record, I was on the easiest difficulty, and Karlach still nearly wiped the floor with me a few times. She's just built different. Somehow, I prevailed. Then, my creepy butler paid me a late night visit, I got my Slayer form, and the rest is history. Now for my favorite part, showing you what should have happened. No commentary this time, just enjoy the clip. Let me know if Cassian's redemption arc passed the vibe check.
As your hand approaches his body, it wavers. It longs to close around his throat.
Well, hello. Looking for a cuddle? Although, you don't look entirely yourself. What's going on in that head of yours? All right. Talk quickly then. More horrible than our day-to-day lives. Well, this I have to hear. All right. Talk quickly then.
As you tell your story, fatigue fills your body. Your head swims with the worst headache you've known.
I'd rather be the only dark power inside your body, if it's all the same to you. How flattering. And disturbing. You could have talked to me before things got murderously bad, you know. We are technically in this together. Whatever it is that's controlling you, we can fight it. I know that better than anyone.
Suddenly you become drowsy. Your vision blurs and floods with yellow bile, and you faint in a dizzy blur. You are not yourself. All control is gone.
This thing won't have you. It won't win. You're cute, you know. In another life, we might have been friends. We ask before we bite. Easy now, darling. You've got this. And I've got you. A little late, but good effort. Now just relax. Dawn will be here soon. Of course they will, dear. Now just relax. Dawn will be here soon. Growl all you want. It won't stop the dawn. This will be over soon. You do the same to me. Now just relax. Dawn isn't far off.
The night passes sick and sweating, but bloodlessly. You once again inhabit your own mind.
Now that you're back with us, we need to have a talk. You're not alone in this. None of us are. We can even compare notes if you'd like. Oh, please. How many lives have you taken? Dozens? I must have brought 𝐭𝐴𝐺𝐸 1,000 souls. Well, no, you tried to kill me. Of course it's not all right. But nothing is ruined either. After all, what's a little attempted murder between friends? I don't hate you, because this is not you. Anyway, it's a brand new day. I'm sure we'll find lots of people for you to kill. Good morning. Thank you for not killing me the other night. Are you all right now, or was today a I will wed you with a delicate veil of blood blooming over your white curls kind of day? Just as the lick of poison is removed from my words of love, yours become a sentence of death. A tragic pair, eh? At least the smut peddlers of 𝐭𝐻𝑡𝑟𝑒𝑠's caress will have a field day writing erotic verse about us when we're both dead. Excellent. You will let me know the next time you need to be tied up, won't you? Why not? If I can walk in the sun, you can become all sunshine and roses. I'm sure of it. I'm also worried about me, but I seem to somehow be worried about you more. You give me something to care for, and that's worth the peril. Delicious.
We've arrived at one of the most harrowing and heartbreaking moments in Astarion's journey. The scene dives deep into betrayal, manipulation, and the profound impact of his trauma. The true weight of this moment lies not in the act itself, but the calculated betrayal and abuse of trust that underpin it. It's a moment that lays bare his raw vulnerability. Content warning: the following scene involves themes of SA and emotional manipulation, which may be profoundly distressing. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. If you find this too difficult to watch, feel free to skip ahead to the next section. I've included chapters to make navigation easier. Please take care of yourself as you watch. I won't be providing commentary during this scene as it speaks volumes on its own. However, as always, I'll ensure a thorough exploration of the dialogue, skipping any repetitive parts for clarity.
Do you have a moment? I think we need to talk. Excuse me. This might be the first honest thing I've ever told you, and you're not interested. Seems I was wrong about you. About us. Perhaps it's better if we don't continue with whatever this was. Perhaps we'll both be better for it. Oh, it's nothing terrible, it's just... well, maybe it is a little terrible. Something like that, except not that at all. Oh yes, I'm fine. I just feel awful. Look, I had a plan. A nice, simple plan. Seduce you, sleep with you, manipulate your feelings so you'd never turn on me. It was easy. instinctive. Habits from 200 years of charming people kicked in. All you had to do was fall for it. And all I had to do was not fall for you. Which is where my nice, simple plan fell apart. You're incredible. You deserve something real. I want us to be something real. Yes, all right. I can understand. It's a shame. But I don't want to risk treating you like you're one of his victims. Perhaps it's better if we don't continue with whatever this was. Perhaps we'll both be better for it. Of course I was attracted to you. Look at you, for goodness sake. You're a vision. And you're so much more than that. I don't know what to think. I don't know what I want. Of course they did. That's the problem. Or part of it. Being close to someone, any kind of intimacy, was something I performed to lure people back for him. Even though I know things between us are different, being with someone still feels tainted. Still brings up those feelings of disgust and loathing. I don't know how else to be with someone. No matter how much I'd like to. Yes, I suppose there's not much point to me if I won't have sex. My only talent, I'm fully aware. Perhaps it's better if we don't continue with whatever this was. Perhaps we'll both be better for it. I suppose it has felt different with you. I suppose if this is what you want, then I shall provide. It's almost funny. This is all a game to you, isn't it? No matter what I say, it doesn't matter. Not if you get what you want. I didn't know how to say no. But I do now. Of course I did. I know that dance better than anyone. But I always felt nothing. Not last night, though. Last night, I felt miserable. And it was a revelation. Well, you got what you wanted. An apology doesn't mean much at this point. For as long as I can remember, I've been used by others. Controlled. Puppeted for someone else's pleasure. But not anymore. Whatever we had, whatever this was, it's over. Why in the hell's you bothering me now? I can't forgive you either. Just don't make me think about it. Let's talk about something else. Anything else.
If this scene has brought up difficult emotions for you, or if you or someone you know has experienced something like this, please know you're not alone. I've included a link to findahelpline.com in the description. It's a resource that connects you to support in your country, and it includes a quick exit feature for your safety. It's okay to step away or take a break if you need to. Your well-being is what matters the most. Llarian deserves immense credit for the detail in Astarion's expressions. They convey heartbreak without a single word. After such a heavy moment, let's shift focus to Cassian. While Vela shows the worst you can do to him, Cassian represents the best. A chance to rebuild trust and offer care. But before that, we do have to revisit something I mentioned earlier in the video that connects this moment with the previous scene in the video. I'll replay it as a quick refresher and to catch anyone who may have skipped ahead to speed.
I would like that. I've held more people than I can count. An infinite parade of lovers. But a friend? I can't think of a single one. Until you.
There. Don't you feel better? I certainly do. If you noticed, I chose to make Cassian and Astarion friends rather than lovers. The scene after the drow encounter, assuming you chose the good route, feels like the perfect foundation for a meaningful friendship. I'll explain this choice more later in the video. For now, I hope you enjoyed this glimpse into how things could have gone. Let's see what's next. As mentioned in the clip, I feel the confession after the drow encounter works best for building a meaningful friendship, while the confession following the orthon sets a perfect foundation for a romantic relationship. But enough rambling, let's dive into it, sit back, relax, and enjoy the feel-good vibes.
Do you have a moment? I think we need to talk. Oh yes, I'm fine. I just feel awful. Look, I had a plan. A nice, simple plan. Seduce you, sleep with you, manipulate your feelings so you'd never turn on me. It was easy. Instinctive. Habits from 200 years of charming people kicked in. All you had to do was fall for it. And all I had to do was not fall for you. Which is where my nice, simple plan fell apart. You're incredible. You deserve something real. I want us to be something real. I just don't know what real looks like. Not after 200 years playing the rake. Being close to someone, any kind of intimacy, was something I performed to lure people back for him. Even though I know things between us are different, being with someone still feels tainted. Still brings up those feelings of disgust and loathing. I don't know how else to be with someone. No matter how much I'd like to. Really? Why, that almost sounds like a challenge. Honestly, I have no idea what we're doing. Or what comes next. But I know that this is nice.
Next up is the tadpole, more specifically, forcing Astarion to use it. You might find it unexpected that he doesn't want to take it. Then again, considering his past, it makes perfect sense. The thought of losing himself again to something like the astral tadpole terrifies him, and it's easy to see why. Let's see what he says when Vela offers it to him.
Don't look at me like that. I know what you're going to say. The answer is no. No. That was before I knew the cost. Before I knew it meant transforming into some grotesque beast. I remember how it hurt when I turned into a vampire. My body writhed and warped while I was utterly helpless. The grip of death owned my heart as it beat its last. I don't want to turn into anything else. I can't do that again. I can't watch my body be taken over.
So, that's why he doesn't want to take it. He remembers the night he was turned, and as you can imagine, it was a horrifying experience. For those who don't know, the night Astarion was turned, he was, as he describes, beaten to death's door by a group of 𝐸. He was left bleeding in the street when 𝐭𝐻𝐳 found him.
Coincidence? I think not!
Now, a normal person would leave it at that, but 𝐕𝓁 being 𝐕𝓁, the Dark Urge incarnate, couldn't let things end there. As always, I will be thorough with the dialogue, skipping over any repetitive parts.
I am not. I just don't want to lose my God's given good looks, really. Wouldn't that be a crime? It isn't about the pain, it's about being beholden to the tadpole's influence. If we master the tadpoles, it will be different. But right now, that mastery depends on an 𝐿𝐼𝐊𝐿𝐘 and its 𝐬𝐭𝐫𝐿𝐾 slave. I'm not going to submit to this. Don't ask me again. Fuck off! I can tell what you're doing. You will not break me down. I don't need a partner who's willing to unleash the demons in my head. You and me are over.
As you pick apart his mind, you discover his worst memory. That which brings him the purest terror. Complete solitude after being disobedient. Sealed, buried alive. Voiceless. Will this be forever? A year of horror, then the release. He will never disobey again.
Damn it. Damn you. All right. I'll do it.
Life pulses from within. The parasite's thoughts whisper at the edge of your mind. It wants to share itself with you. It wants to be let in.
Go on. Don't be afraid. It only wants to help you evolve.
A coldness seeps through your veins as the tadpole awakens. Its yearning almost unbearable. Your mind is a veritable feast. The tadpole's essence courses through you. Where it touches, your flesh, glands, organs contract and flood with pure thought. You feel different. Your body has never felt more connected. Your mind present in every flex of a joint or muscle.
Perhaps, once the others see what you can do, they will consider trying it for themselves.
That transformation scene is rough to watch in general, but when it comes to Astarion, it's... well, let's just say it hits different. It's alarming to realize how much power 𝐕𝓁 holds over him in so many ways, manipulating him into biting the 𝐼𝐻, coercing him into that horrific scene of violation, and unfortunately much more. But enough of the darkness. Let's pivot to a moment where Astarion reclaims his agency and reminds us all of the strength he still has. But not with Cassian this time. No, Astarion does it himself and shows us just how much of a badass we all know him to be.
Wait. Remember, it has enough vitality to nourish you and your allies. Commune with it. You'll see, it only wants to help you. Disappointing. You have lowered our chances of success with your actions.
It felt really good watching him reclaim his power and deny Layla that victory. It's strange that there's no real consequences for Layla's actions. Astarion doesn't react to the failed attempts. It might leave you wondering if he's suppressing his emotions or if it's just a limitation of the game. Then again, this footage is older, and I don't really make a habit of making him consume the astral tadpole, so it might have changed after the most recent update. But with that, let's move on to the next moment on our list. So, next up on the list is cheating on Astarion. Unfortunately, I need to use Cassian again because Will is, well, dead in my other playthrough with Layla. For those who aren't aware, aka those of you who skipped ahead, Cassian is the feels-good character, the light after the storm that is Layla's journey. So, using him in the scene feels like committing a grave injustice. Sadly, he's the only option I have. But, fret not, gentle viewer. I've added a scene that hopefully redeems him. For now though, here is Mizora propositioning Cassian.
I've had my eye on you. Hot as brimstone, jagged as lightning, and seething like the river Styx. But there's something missing, isn't there? You're hungry for pleasures beyond this plane. Something more satisfying than mortal flesh, blood, and bone. I'm talking of the mundanity of a life ignorant to the thrills of the 9 hells. Yes, you're curious. Your eyes are lit like raging stars. You want what only I can give you. The ecstasy of agony. The pain of the damned, distilled into pure bliss. Beyond every climax you've known. The little death writ large. Smile, and I'll come to you when you put your head down to rest. I will sate your most forbidden lusts. Or don't, and know the eternal ache of the unknown and the unanswered. Then we'll keep it our little secret. Hand to beating heart. Tonight, then. Be ready.
Eyes like raging stars. What a poet. The sarcasm practically drips off the page, doesn't it? Anyway, the ill-advised rendezvous, to put it mildly. We wake up the following morning. Apparently this nonsense took all night long.
The pleasure of torment. The torment of pleasure. You're forever marked. Can't you feel it? Where my lips scorched your skin. How your soul burns with flame.
Your pores flood with heat and frigid water. Your parched tongue searches for the right response.
One taste, one indulgence, but the delicious agony remains. A pity for you, the one taste is all I'll give.
Well, I hope I'm not interrupting.
Astarion, what a pleasant surprise. I must have drawn more blood than I intended. I think I'll nip out for a bit, let you two lovebirds chirp. Who would I be to meddle in personal affairs?
Awkward, to say the least. Mizora knew exactly what she was doing, and while I can acknowledge the calculated brilliance of her scheme, it's hard to ignore the sheer cruelty behind it. She made sure Astarion saw what a cheating scoundrel fake Cassian was. And yes, I say fake, because my boy would never cheat. What do you mean I'm in denial? Of course I'm not. How dare you even insinuate?
So, seems you were having fun? I don't know if I should believe you, but I do. And if anyone should believe in forgiving and forgetting, I should. All right, we'll put this behind us. Just let's not do it again. No, I'm not jealous. Disappointed. Maybe. Once, maybe. But things change. People change. Even if they never imagined they could. I don't want to lose you either. But I really thought there was more to you. That you were better than other people. More fool me, I suppose. Perhaps not. But now I'm wondering if any of this meant anything. I thought I could trust you, which was no small thing. I'm not sure what to think. You can promise me the heavens. It doesn't change the choice you've already made. It was selfish. It was you not thinking about anyone but yourself, and that's a feeling I know all too well. I may not have the moral high ground when it comes to betraying trust, but right now, I see everything I've been trying to escape in you. Even I deserve better than this. We're done.
You might have noticed some glitching during the scene. Sorry about that. Sometimes the camera was on Astarion for some weird reason. That was a tongue twister, but sometimes it was on him, sometimes it wasn't. There wasn't much I could do to fix that. Anyway, there is additional dialogue when you leave the camp. Astarion confronts fake Cassian, and the responses from him are just downright cruel.
Is it true? You've decided to replace me? No, don't give me that. I can see what this is. I know it's you. It's obviously you. I didn't think... Well, that's it, isn't it? I didn't think. Because if I had for even half a second, I would have realized how stupid this was. You were a mistake. But not one I'll be making again. And nothing. I just wanted to know where we stood. I'm not even surprised. You were a mistake from the beginning.
Man, the way he blames himself is so heartbreaking. But at the same time, I'm proud of him for acknowledging he deserved better. Bless you! That's why I call her Sneezy. Alright, let's try this again. Thankfully, that's the end of this fever dream. Now, let's rewind time and show you how the real Cassian would have handled Mazora's scheming. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Dear me, I've overestimated you. Trust me, I shan't be making that mistake again. Ta-ta.
Know your fucking place, trash.
I really hope This redeemed my boy by showing you how the real Cassian would handle the situation with integrity and loyalty. He deserves better than being caught up in Mazora's schemes, and so does Astarion. That's the last time I'll use him for something evil against Astarion, probably. Now, let's move on to the next chapter of this wild ride. Next up on the list is Astarion's siblings. This scene doesn't quite fit the theme of the worst things you can do to Astarion, but there are two moments that stand out. The first is when you tell his siblings that they can take him. As always, I'll be skipping over repetitive dialogue to focus on the highlights.
You sleep, but the wicked don't. Someone is here to disturb your rest.
Get the hells away from me!
Peace, brother. We're here to take you home.
The Master needs all 7 of us for the ceremony. Come with us and be reborn. We'll live again.
Oh, thank you for your unerring support.
Much as we'd love to, the Master's orders were very specific.
The Master said, no witnesses.
You said they could take me. Really? And that was your gut response? Really? I can't tell whether you're a bad liar or a worse jester, but either way, it isn't cute. Sorry, sweetheart, but consider our little love affair over. I don't want to be with anyone who has kidnapping fantasies about their partner. Well, I suppose you knew we could defeat them. I'll try not to think what would have happened if we hadn't.
I'm really damn proud of him for breaking up with Layla. Astarion has let things slide too often in the past or been talked into things he just didn't want to do. Real testament to his strength. Anyway, let me quickly walk you through this next part. The second outcome actually occurs when you fail the skill checks. There are 2 you can fail. The first is you reprimanding Astarion.
The right. The Master needs him. He must attend.
Oh, I'm well aware of what the Master needs. But don't we deserve better?
Better? What do you mean, better?
After all these centuries of torment, I know what you all want. More than power. More than to walk in the sun. You want to see him dead. The right of profane ascension will be mine. And he won't see a scrap of its glory. I am going to complete the ritual as the Ascendant, and then I am going to kill him! This is your chance. Stand with me. Name me your new master. We will get our revenge. And you will all live again.
His liar's smile spells danger. He knows full well that his kin will die in the ritual, but if any of the bearers of the scar die before the ritual begins, he will lose his chance to perform the rite himself. He needs them to run willingly to their deaths, thinking they stand a chance against their master.
Don't spoil this for me. I almost had them.
Enough! Enough talk and enough lies. You were always weak, brother. We don't follow weak.
The second is of you playing along as he tries to convince his siblings to make him their new master.
Save us. That lickspittle only ever wanted to save himself. The rest of us be damned. And now you think we'll throw away our chance at freedom by bowing to you? You were always weak, brother. We don't follow weak.
This is our only chance to be free, to end centuries of slavery. You will not ruin it, Astarion.
Both failures lead to the same moment where you could ask this question. Was it true what they said? That you gave up fighting long ago? This is Astarion's heartbreaking response.
You don't know what it was like. There was no way out. Once, in the first decade of my slavery, found a darling boy who I couldn't bear to bring back to him, so I ran. Instead of hurting that sweet man. After 𝐭𝐻𝐻𝐷𝐿 caught me, the bastard sealed me, starving, inside a dusty tomb, all on my own for an entire year. A year of silence. Months of scratching my hands raw, trying to carve my way out. More months of not moving at all. Months wishing only for death. So don't you ever judge me for doing what 𝐭𝐻𝐻𝐷𝐿 ordered. Nothing can make up for that. Not even 𝐭𝐻𝐻𝐷𝐿's death. But to steal his life's work. That might be something. No. He didn't. I am still here. And I will fight him until I fight my last. And while repaying what he did to me is impossible, I am damn well going to steal that bastard's life work. I will become the Ascendant. Easy to say the words, isn't it?
Yeah, I honestly can't wait to make Kaz a bitch pay for everything he's done. The sheer cruelty he's inflicted on Astarion, from the manipulation to the unimaginable pain, is staggering. No punishment would ever truly make up for the agony Astarion endured. Speaking of his pain, this ties back to an earlier scene. Here's a quick refresher for context.
As you pick apart his mind, you discover his worst memory. That which brings him the purest terror. Complete solitude after being disobedient. Sealed, buried alive. Voiceless. Will this be forever? A year of horror, then the release. He will never disobey again.
Yeah, that was his worst memory. The one time he showed mercy. And 𝐭𝐻𝐻𝐷𝐿's response was to punish him in the most horrific way imaginable by locking him in a tomb for an entire year. Alright, let's move on to the next thing on the list. Alright, here's a take that's sure to spark some debate. Ascending Astarion might be one of the worst things you can do to him. Feel free to tell me why I'm wrong in the comments. I'm all ears. While you do that, let's see what happens if you outright refuse to help Astarion ascend.
No healing sleep for you. Wake up!
Get your hands off me, worm!
I'm not the one in the dirt. One last thrust, and I'll be free of you. I'll never have to fear you again. But if I finish the ritual you started, I'll never have to fear anyone. Ever.
You think me a fool? That I would allow anyone to usurp me, speak the words, and ascend in my place? The runes I carved into your flesh bind you and all 7,000 souls to the ritual. Complete it, and those bearing the scars will be sacrificed, you included. You are simply a means to an end. I made you to be consumed.
I am so much more than what you made me. I can do this, but I need your help. Please. I can't do this alone. Fine.
Is it over?
Yes. It's over. You can do whatever you want. As for those wretches in the cells, if I don't get my freedom, neither do they. It's over. I'm done with this. And I'm done with you. I would say good luck out there, but honestly, I hope you die screaming.
Yeah, he leaves your party and hopes you die a painful death. What a guy. Anyway, let's see what happens when you kill Cazador and halt the ritual before Astarion is able to complete it. Content warning. This section depicts a character being harmed in graphic detail with no shine away from the gruesome aspects. Viewer discretion is advised. I'll warn you right before the scene begins and include a timestamp for those who wish to skip it. Afterward, I'll summarize what happens so you can follow along with the rest of the video.
Trust me, I know what I'm doing. These people died years ago. Trust me on that. All that's left are feral spawn, desperate for blood. If we release them, how many people will they kill? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands? But if they die and I ascend, I won't have to rely on the parasite to walk in the sun. I'll be free. Truly, completely free. Isn't that what you want? I need your eyes, in a manner of speaking.
What do you think you are doing?
I'm making what you made me. Use the parasite. Link your mind to mine. Through your eyes, I can see the scars on my back and copy them onto his.
You would not dare!
I would. And I will. You will be consumed, and all the power you've lusted after will be mine.
Astarion, I've known this craving too. Craving for power, for control. But I fear your lust verges on madness.
Help me do this. Please.
Your minds join and your two selves become one. You can feel the knife in your hand, see the scars on his back, and taste his hunger for power.
Yes. Yes. I see it.
I'm just gonna pause quickly to let you know that the really bad scene is about to play. Here's a timestamp to skip ahead if you'd rather avoid it.
What are you doing? Don't! Ah! Oh, no! 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 There. Perfect.
If you skipped ahead, here's a quick summary. Astarion carved the same infernal runes into 𝐭𝐻𝐻𝐿's back that were once carved into his own. I hope that made sense, and here's the rest of the scene.
Ungrateful child! Wretched child! Time to take your place. Dominus, has animas, offero in sacrificio. I can feel their power flowing into me! What are you doing? No! Stop! Ah! It's gone. All that power. You couldn't let me. You couldn't let me! Don't you tell me what I needed! All you had to do was stand there! But no! Even that was too much to ask! I was so close! I could have had it all! But you took everything from me! 𝐭𝐻𝐻𝐿 won after all. I'll never escape the hell he built. And if I can't escape, then no one can. Not them. And certainly not you!
Psych! Alright, I guess it's time to show you the real Ascension scene. It's actually pretty awesome. Enjoy.
Nunc volo potestantem quam policitus es mihi! That ache in my stomach, that hunger, it's gone. I'm free.
I'm finally free! Oh! Oh, it feels delicious.
I'll give AA one thing. I'm gonna call Ascended Star an AA to make things easier, but he did look undeniably badass, bathed in an ominous red glow. I'm not gonna show you every last bit of dialogue you can have with AA, but I will show you what he says immediately after the ritual.
I did. We did. Come on, let's get out of here. I have a brand new world to explore. Now, we deal with the Elder Brain. I no longer require its parasite, so we can end this once and for all. I think the answer to that is, whatever they damn well please! Oh, don't worry, darling. I won't bite unless you ask very, very nicely. Come on, let's get out of here. I have a brand new world to explore.
AA is vastly different than Astarion, and let's just say abbreviating Spawn Astarion wouldn't work for obvious reasons. I gotta give massive props to Neil Newbon, the voice actor for Astarion. The way he's able to switch like that for AA is phenomenal. Anyway, I'll quickly summarize the next series of events, since it isn't necessarily relevant to the video. Once you leave the Inner Sanctum, you're met with the ghûr, who are understandably pissed at Astarion for, well, murdering 7,007 souls, some of which were their children. It doesn't really matter what you say. Unfortunately, it always ends with someone or multiple someones dying. 𝐴𝐿ma, the leader of the ghûr, does give you one last chance to back out of AA's storyline. But if you say no, then you have to kill all the ghûr.
But I still have hope for you, that you will make a better choice. Will you stand against evil? Will you help us destroy this monster? Then you are as much a monster as he. Kill them. Kill them all.
Oh, that was very, very satisfying. Who better to test these new powers on? And who better to be standing by my side than you, who helped me get them?
But let me show you what happens if you side with 𝐴𝐿ma. It ends exactly as you'd think.
What? You treacherous little shit! I'll kill you all!
Yeah, he got his ass handed to him. But the reason why I'm showing you this entire part is because I used Speak with Dead on him to see what he'd say. And, well, it might actually provide some additional context for you guys.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Rule this place, finally be free. Some, but never to feed. Only brought master living victims. Met people, talked, flirted, lured back for my master.
Following the calling of the ghûr tribe, Astarion will approach you when you go to sleep that night. You can go back and forth with him, but it ends with you having to make two decisions. Either you break up with him, or you become his spawn. Of course, for the sake of the video, we obviously said yes. Now, before we get to the spicy part, keep in mind, I do have censorship on, so you won't be seeing too much, but things do get, well, spicy. Anyway, before we get to that part, I'm gonna show you some things you can do before submitting to him.
On your knees, darling.
He will always see you as degrading yourself if you continue to be with him. But perhaps you wish to degrade yourself, and he knows it.
Yes. You're missing the chance of a lifetime. You will never have another like me. It won't take me until the end of time to find another like you.
Before we continue, I want to clarify something about the part where you can read his mind, and the narrator mentions him thinking you're degrading yourself by being with him. For the longest time, I thought this meant he looked down on you, but it's actually the opposite. He sees himself as worthless and believes you're too good for him, even with all this newfound power. Astarion is still, at his core, just a flawed and self-conscious guy. Anyway, continuing on. The next thing you can do is, well, toe punt the man in the nards, and it's hilarious.
How dare you! To hell's with you! I'm done! I hope you rot!
The mighty vampire ascendant throws a full-on temper tantrum. After all, this is the same guy who killed 7,007 souls, yet stomps his foot like a toddler. It's a hilarious glimpse of his true nature breaking through the ascended facade. Alright. For you AA super fans, here's the entire censored sex scene for you. I even told him to be rough, just for you. And for those who prefer to skip, here's a timestamp to avoid the spicy bits.
Tonight, I shall drink every drop of your blood, own your body, kill your mind. It will only hurt a bit. The pleasure will be far greater than the pain. Given me everything. Thank you.
As he drinks more and more, you feel yourself fading from consciousness. When you wake again, you will be his forevermore.
You are so beautiful. And you will be beautiful forever. Thank you for trusting me.
There's a bunch of dialogue you can have after the naughty scene, but it's not relevant to the story. What I can show you is Cassian's scene. Now, I'll let the entire scene play without commentary. It's quite long, but worth it. There is one thing I want to add. When Astarion's siblings come to take him, I decided to let them succeed. And what follows is a truly badass scene.
You sleep, but the wicked don't. Someone is here to disturb your rest.
Get the hells away from me!
Peace, brother. We're here to take you home.
The Master needs all 7 of us for the ceremony. Come with us and be reborn. We'll live again.
Master 𝐭𝐻𝐸 has known where Astarion was this entire time. He knew he would return. The rite. The Master needs him. He must attend.
Oh, I'm well aware of what the Master needs. But don't we deserve better?
Better? What do you mean, better?
After all these centuries of torment, I know what you all want. More than power. More than to walk in the sun. You want to see him dead. The right of profane ascension will be mine. And he won't see a scrap of its glory. I am going to complete the ritual as the Ascendant, and then I am going to kill him! This is your chance. stand with me. Name me your new master. We will get our revenge. And you will all live again.
His liar's smile spells danger. He knows full well that his kin will die in the ritual. But if any of the bearers of the scar die before the ritual begins, he will lose his chance to perform the rite himself. He needs them to run willingly to their deaths, thinking they stand a chance against their master.
Don't look at me like that. With the sweet little disappointed I'm not getting cuddly Astarion pout. I can't take it. I can't be what you want to see in me.
Die in the ritual? Whatsoever are you speaking of? We are going to cheat undeath. The Master doesn't need to lie to us. He controls us fully. Why go through the trouble of giving us hope?
Because it's more cruel. Shit, we're doomed. All right. What do you need from us? We'll help you.
The bonds hold. He owns us. We have no choice. We must obey. Get out of here, Astarion, before...
I can't take much more. It hurts. Sorry. This can't be the end.
I'll take Astarion to the Master. The rest of you, deal with the witnesses.
Rest, little runaway. Once you're strong enough to survive, we will begin.
Damn it. He's probably back at 𝐭𝐻𝐻𝐿's palace already.
We can't pursue them until daybreak. We'd be at too much of a disadvantage.
A familiar stink fills your nostrils. You're back in the kennel, where you spent 10 days, being tortured by 𝐭𝐻𝐻's sadistic servant, 𝐭𝐫𝐻𝐻.
Nasty little runaway. But you always find your way back to 𝐭𝐫𝐻𝐻. If I had my way, I'd saw off your legs. That'd put a stop to your wandering. But the Master says no. Says he needs all of your blood on the inside for the mass. But he needs you obedient too. No barking, no biting, no struggling. A well-behaved little doggy. You think you're free? Then let's tighten your chain.
All that you've seen since the crash, all the wonders and horrors suddenly seem inconsequential. Only one thing matters. 𝐭𝐻𝐻, your master, your lord, your creator. His will tightens around you once again, and it is as if you never escaped him. 𝐭𝐻𝐻's presence fills your mind like blood in a blister. Once inside, it seeks a vulnerability to exploit, a weakness to latch onto, and it finds nothing. You expel him from your mind as if he were an unpleasant clot in a fine vintage.
Impossible! You're a spawn! Know your place!
No healing sleep for you. Wake up!
Get your hands off me, worm!
I'm not the one in the dirt. be free of you. I'll never have to fear you again. But if I finish the ritual you started, I'll never have to fear anyone. Ever.
You think me a fool? That I would allow anyone to usurp me, speak the words, and ascend in my place? The runes I carved into your flesh bind you and all 7,000 souls to the ritual. Complete it, and those bearing the scars will be sacrificed, you included. You are simply a means to an end. I made you to be consumed.
I am so much more than what you made me. I can do this, but I need your help. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. These people died years ago. Trust me on that. All that's left are feral spawn, desperate for blood. If we release them, how many people will they kill? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands? But if they die and I ascend, I won't have to rely on the parasite to walk in the sun. I'll be free. Truly, completely free. Isn't that what you want?
You can see the fear in his eyes, but also the hunger. The thick smell of blood in the air and the promise of power being so close is intoxicating to him. All he can see is the power of the ritual and the freedom that power brings. The freedom to do anything, to be anything.
You're right. I can be better than them. But I'm not above enjoying this.
Is it over? Is he...
Yes. He's gone.
What does that mean for us?
It means you have a choice. You can hide here, living in the shadows like parasites. Or you could be more than what he made us to be. You can choose differently, of course. But the consequences are on your head.
And what does it mean for them?
Now that is a question.
Cazador's staff controlled everything during the ritual. If it controls the cells too, you could decide their fate.
7,000 Astarions unleashed on the Sword Coast. It'll be a well-dressed flood of mayhem, at least.
The poor wretches in the cells are innocent. They shouldn't have to suffer just because I lured them here. They'll need someone to lead them. Take the tunnels into the Underdark. Find somewhere, well, not safe, but less perilous.
What? No, we can't.
Just try to keep them out of trouble. I think we're done here. Let's go. I should probably start getting used to the shadows again. Who knows how long I have left in the sun? I know. Doesn't mean it stings any less. Maybe never seeing the sun again is just the price of freedom. I think I do. Assuming we survive, of course, because a horrible death is always just around the corner with you. There's something I'd like to show you, if that's all right. Something out in the city. This way. It's not far.
The graveyard is appropriately silent. There isn't a proverbial soul around.
You couldn't wait 10 seconds before being an absolute freak. Nearly 200 years, and I never came back. Not since the night I woke up down there. I had to punch a hole in the coffin and claw my way through 6 feet of dirt. Then when I finally broke the surface, retching up dirt and congealed blood, 𝐭𝐻𝐻𝐿 was waiting. From that day on, I was his. Until today, maybe. But he did take it. There's almost nothing left of the person I was. Just a name on a rock. For nearly 2 centuries, I stalked the streets like a ghost. Well, the person I was lay here. Dead and buried. Now I need to figure out who I am. What I want. I feel the same. You were by my side through all of this. Through bloodlust and pain and misery. You were patient. You cared. You trusted me when that was an objectively stupid thing to do. I feel safe with you. Seen. And whatever the future holds for me, I don't want to lose that. Thank you. Well, I should probably fix this. Cute. I've been dead in the ground for long enough. It's time to try living again. With everything that life has to offer. If a night of passion is an offer, I could be persuaded. You know, I didn't care for you when we first met. But I do now. Being with you is about more than lust or manipulating you into a tactical alliance. I love you. I love this. And I want it all.
At long last, we've reached the conclusion of Vela's story, thank goodness. But the video isn't quite over yet. First up, Vela dominates the brain in Baal's name, showcasing the full extent of her dark path.
Impossible. Pain. Fear. Terror. Reconsider. Assess. Implore. Surrender.
There. At last. It is subdued.
Spare me. Join me. Wield me. Become absolute.
And thus, I honor my mother's legacy. The grand design, once again, ended by my line.
The brain is on the cusp of its final thought, and it's taking all of Orpheus's strength to keep it there. An opportunity, perhaps. You glimpse the lifelong destiny promised by your father. Enslave, dominate, ruin. In your father's name, you must seize your rightful claim to the brain, not destroy it. If you do not, then he will flay and shred your mind, so it cannot even comprehend the horrors he will plague you with.
It can be ours, my love. The whole world. We only have to take it.
In Baal's name.
I'll show you two versions of this ending, both involving Astarion. First up, Ascended Astarion.
shall soon amass an 𝐬𝐵𝑖𝑑 army to bring slaughter across Faerûn. But now, it is time to unleash Baal's adoration upon his beloved city. You are half an 𝐬𝐵𝑖𝑑, half a god. Below, the gawking onlookers line up to die. But there is one who deserves the honor of your first death, the beginning of your end.
My darling love, you were perfect, my sweet. And now, the world is ours to rule.
We have spawned Astarion, and let me tell you, it's absolutely heartbreaking.
So, you chose this over Baldur's Gate, over your friends, over us. You chose this. When I had the chance!
Time for the final act. Your tragedy has become mankind's. You to feel each kill as if it were your own. The pleasure is almost too much to bear. as a premonition of your red radiant destiny. You are the end, the last creature living, with all else felled by your hand. Alone amidst their gall at the close of eternity. Then, and only then, Father will be proud.
Wasn't that something? It's graphic, sure, but that's the dirge for you. Unapologetic, motherfucker. Metal. This time, we ended the break, though I won't show you that part, as I'm saving it for a later scene. Now, we've jumped ahead to the final scene where Vayla and Astarion are together after the fight. Quick note, I didn't fight Cazador before defeating the brain. You'll see why in just a moment. Let's see what happens when you break up with Astarion right at the finish line.
Hello, darling. I was just thinking about freedom. I might be free of the parasite, but Cazador's still out there. Without the tadpole's protection, he just has to find me. To claim me. It might be days or years, but he'll come for me eventually. He's inevitable.
You... What? Now? After all this? How dare you? After all I've done for you, after everything I've sacrificed... But fine. If that's what you want, so be it. I can make my own way in the world. There's enough of it out there. I'll find some nice, dark place where neither you nor Cazador will ever bother me again. It is a pity. We were rather good together. I'll never forget it. Goodbye, darling. And good luck.
Now, let's fast forward 6 months to the party. I'm not going to show the entire thing because only 3 people survived this playthrough, and it would be kind of pathetic to show the entire party with just 3 damn people. Anyway, here's how that meeting with Astarion plays out.
Well, look who decided to turn up. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise, but here we are. And I must say, for someone who had to face down a dark god, you seem to be doing remarkably well. What have you been up to? No relapses, I hope? I am pleased to hear it, for all our sakes. Not that I was worried, of course. I knew you'd have this under control. But I am glad to see you doing well. I'm glad to see us all doing well, in fact. Things turned out rather nicely in the end. Alas, no. I haven't dared to risk it while Cazador still lives. I haven't seen the sun since the brain fell. I'm reduced to eating vermin once more, and I can't walk the streets lest Cazador finds me. You could at least offer to help. You're more than capable of facing him. Now, more than ever. Killing him would be easy. Of course. After you've saved an entire city, saving one more person is probably below you. Not that it bothers me, of course. I've always been alone. I don't see why that would change now.
It's hard heartbreaking what happens to him after the breakup. Constantly on the run, Astarion lives in fear, always looking over her shoulder. Without the tadpole, he's unable to feed on thinking creatures and is forced to survive on rats and scraps. Let's move on to what you've all been waiting for, or maybe like a small majority of you are looking forward to, the good ending. Anyway, quick disclaimer, the character you'll see isn't Cassian. Unfortunately, my game files got corrupted after I went a little overboard with mods and couldn't recover it. So instead, you'll meet my new character, Selma, who's stepping in to carry the story forward. Enjoy.
Subdued at last, it begs for its life.
Spare me. Join me. Wield me. Become absolute.
It pleads because it knows I'm its master. I will finish this.
Why are you being so creepy?
The brain is on the cusp of its final thought, and it's taking all of the Emperor's strength to keep it there. An opportunity, perhaps.
My master. I must obey. I must end.
Hopes, nightmares, and the screams of legions upon legions of unborn illithids. The pain rips through you, obliterating all thought, all feeling. Your tadpole burns in your brain. Silence. Free of urge and worm, your brain is battered and bruised. But it is yours. Yours at last.
A reprieve from the Githyanki invasion. For this day at least.
With the Githyanki gone, there's nothing left but the silence of the city. Smoldering, waiting to be rebuilt.
So, what comes next?
I honestly don't mind what we do once we get to the... Ow! What the... Oh no. Oh God. Well, it was nice when it lasted. Ah! I'm sorry. I have to go.
Call him man or call him monster, but Astarion was a force against the Grand Design. He deserves to bask in the sun, not to hide in darkness.
It's over. And it's all because of you. You, who were destined to become a thrall. Thanks to you, there will be no Illithid Empire, no Death God's tyranny. You have earned your place amongst the legends of the Sword Coast. You are the saviors of Baldur's Gate.
Hello, darling. I was just thinking about freedom. How I'm free of the parasite. Free of 𝐭𝐻𝐴. How I'll never be in someone's power again. And all it cost was my life in the sun. Now I belong to the shadows. So, what happens next? We are rather good together, aren't we? I never saw myself as a hero, but fighting alongside you has been special. Maybe we could make a difference out there. Although, I do need to ask, is that what you want? Is this what you want? I would understand if you wanted to go your own way. Good. Because, selfless as I am, I really did not want to let you go. We are rather excellent together, you know. And united, there is nothing we can't do. I can't say what the future holds for us, but I know we'll be facing it together. And we're going to have a lot of fun.
Since the Netherbrain fell, you and Astarion have seen more of Faerûn than you ever thought possible. One night, he tells you that these last 6 months of happy memories are the counterweight to 200 years of misery. The next day, you receive an invitation written in a frail hand, inviting you to a gathering back in the place where your journey together began. A chance to meet with the friends and allies who were by your side in the battle against the Absolute.
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
And how have our friends fared without us? I suppose going through the kind of journey we did will leave its mark. And not everyone can be as lucky as we've been. I do feel a little bad keeping you all to myself. After all, I get to see you every night. Go on, go mingle. Enjoy your time with the others. Bless them with your presence. I'll be here when you're ready. I'll always be here, my love.
The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving. To you.
Welcome to the end of the video. I cannot believe I finished this fucking beast of a video. I'm not kidding you. I sat in my room for 2 weeks trying to edit this thing. I did not expect it to take me 2 weeks to edit it, but it did. It took that long. And a big shout out to my best friend Sneezy for keeping me alive during those 2 weeks. I have ADHD and tend to get lost in the sauce, aka hyper-focus, really badly, and I lose track of time and I forget to feed myself and hydrate. So she would come in with, she's a chef, so she would come in with like this big bowl of food and would like, here, eat and don't forget to hydrate. I was like, shit, fuck, you're right. The minute I smelled that food, my stomach would like growl so loudly. But yeah, I got lost in the sauce with editing and I just didn't take care of myself as well as I probably should have. So Sneezy came in and gave me food and stuff. Sneezy's my best friend, by the way. I kept a couple of her sneezes in the editing. That's why I call her Sneezy, by the way. She sneezes so fucking much. She's my roommate. She's also the reason why I'm whispering right now and why I was whispering for the vast majority of the video, because I was recording really late at night and I didn't want to wake my roommate up. Big shout out to Sneezy for keeping me alive. And another person I want to give a massive shout out to is Lex. Lex has been helping me with my scripts and I don't pay them. They're just doing this out of the goodness of their heart. This video had so many scripts and I felt so bad. I'm like, Lex, if at any point in this time you're like, I can't do this, do it by yourself. No, they're like, nah, I got you. They helped me with all my scripts. I felt so bad. But Lex was insistent. They're like, I got you. I'm here to help. I want to help. Just a big shout out to Lex as well. Anyway, I think that's everything. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I really do. If you watched the entire thing, you're fucking awesome. If you skip 2 different chapters, you're fucking awesome. You're just awesome for watching my video, and I can't thank you enough. I don't know what's been going on with YouTube, but my videos have been doing really well lately. My previous ones were not very good, if I'm being honest. There's like a lot of change going on. I swapped from editing on my phone for years to editing on the computer. I was using a proper microphone, not just the voice changer that I was using for a long time. It was just a lot of change in such a short amount of time, and it just took me some time to adapt, but I still wanted to release those videos because, I don't know, I just did. So I did. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below who you want me to do a video for next. I'll also have a poll in my community tab on my channel, which will have like a bunch of companions, and you can vote for who I will do a video for next. I don't know when that video will come out. I did learn a lot from this one, so I should be faster at editing it, but these take me a really long time for me to film and edit. So I think I'm just gonna chill for like a month, and then I'll get on recording the next companion video. I think this could be a series. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a series. So yeah, let me know who you want me to record for next, and I will get that done eventually. And yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you tried the video. Give it a like, dislike. Yeah, cool. That's it for me. So peace, and see you next Friday.
It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Friday. Getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying, yeah.